My name is Peter Dibele. I am the resident district commissioner, Arua. Tobacco growing, according to me, is important that for you to actually get money out of it, you should grow it, on commercial, at commercial levels. There are tobacco activists all over the world who are trying to fight tobacco growing. But many of our farmers here in the district, from the East African Tobacco Company days to BAT, many of our people have been growing tobacco.
My name is Tuka Isaac Joaquino. I am the Member of Parliament from Upper Madi County, which is one of the tobacco growing constituencies in Arua district. Tobacco growing is absolutely legal because tobacco growing falls under Ministry of Agriculture. It is one of the cash crops, in fact traditional cash crops, and therefore there is in fact nothing which is supposed to condone tobacco growing.
Well, there could be very many issues. Others are individual, others are answering to international communities who are anti-tobacco activists, and others say that tobacco growing is responsible for environmental degradation. But I know as I grew, when the farmers, the tobacco companies have been, growing tobacco and curing it using firewood. They have now come with the new systems which reduce the amount of fuel, wood fuel to be used. But to me, I think the charcoal burners are worse culprits to environment than the tobacco farmers. The companies, say like formerly BAT and now Alliance, gives them seedlings to plant, while the charcoal burners just cut and they don't replace.
The obvious and a must change, which I will want to see, is to remove the extreme measures against tobacco growing and the false information, false figures against tobacco. Because when you look at the argument of those, particular Ministry of Health, that claims that they want to ban tobacco, you realize that it is based on the death rate, claiming that tobacco is the only crop or smoking which causes the biggest number of deaths in the world. Surprisingly, Ugandans are not, in fact, on the top list of tobacco smoking. They grow for export. They grow for other things. They grow for their livelihood. So I would really want to see that extreme measures against tobacco growing are totally removed within the country and even internationally.
Well, Alliance One, what I know is they have been supporting the farmers to grow tobacco, and at the same time, they have been also campaigning to the farmers not only to grow tobacco but also to grow food crops. That's what I found in the field, and what I came to find is that they supply their farmers with some tree seedlings and maize seeds to plant as food crop.
I regret the confusion, which in fact is created mainly by Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Health. I'm sorry to say that those who are causing the confusion, in fact, are those people who read about tobacco in books. They don't know about tobacco in practice. They don't therefore know what they are in fact fighting.
Tobacco growing, according to now international pressure, we have to regulate the growing of tobacco. It's not that we just don't go in for it, but I think we regulate, because we also have to answer to the international community, the international pressure.
The confusion is in fact chasing away potential investors. We have many people who come into this country purporting to be investors, but in reality, when we look at what happens on the ground, in fact, the tobacco supporting companies are the real investors. Because if you take for the case in Arua district, if I can give it as a case study, you find that the tobacco companies employ over 800 people in various fields. And besides, they have so many farmers. When you look at Alliance One alone, Alliance One has over 4,000 farmers, and these farmers really have their livelihood in tobacco growing. The household income, everything, school fees and what have you, they depend on tobacco growing. And in fact, in my area, the children, the parents who are able to afford education for their children are even the tobacco farmers. So I really feel very bad when some people try to discourage the tobacco companies and even the farmers. We have so many companies, organizations, but when you look at tobacco alone, given the case for like last year, financial year, tobacco alone contributed, the overall GDP contributed to the country's economy was about 110 million US dollars, and that translates to about 3.96 trillion shillings, which the government has enjoyed. It has helped the government to undertake a number of projects, but despite this, some people are not looking at the benefits the country gets from the tobacco. It's really very unfortunate, and that's why I'm saying that those who are really fighting against tobacco are ignorant about the benefits of tobacco. I think they need lectures to understand what tobacco contributes to this country. I really want to encourage the tobacco farmers to move from growing the crop on a small scale to a larger scale. In fact, I'm very grateful that the overall winner in the West Nile region for the Alliance One award comes from my constituency, from Ambaro Center. This is a manifestation that the farmers could equally increase the size of their tobacco fields. I really strongly encourage them, and I also want to thank Alliance One in particular for promoting, for helping the farmers really in the deserved manner. Because within the 2 years, we have not received any complaints where they have failed to pay maybe farmers, and they have tried to do everything possible to help our farmers. And even when you talk about food security now, the Alliance One farmers and other tobacco farmers are in fact the ones who really have stores of food, because the companies also help them with the seeds and seedlings to see that there is food security and also the environment is protected.